3 Powerful Nicknames That Deepen Female Emotional Connection. Part 1. Intro plus Psychology Behind Nicknames. Intro hook. Have you ever noticed how just a simple word, a soft nickname, can completely change the way a woman looks at you? One moment, she's guarded, careful, distant, and the next, her walls begin to drop. Her smile lingers a little longer, her eyes soften, and suddenly she feels closer to you than she ever imagined. That is the hidden power of nicknames. Not the cheesy, desperate, overused ones, but the rare, carefully chosen words that bypass her conscious defenses and go straight into her subconscious heart. This is not about playing games. This is not about pretending to be someone you're not. This is about understanding female psychology on a deeper level, and then aligning it with stoic masculinity. Because when you do, you'll see that 3 simple nicknames used correctly can create an emotional bond so strong that she feels safe, connected, and even obsessed with you. But before we get into the actual 3 nicknames, you need to understand why nicknames work in the first place. Because if you don't understand the psychology, you'll misuse them, you'll overuse them, you'll throw them out carelessly, and instead of making her feel special, you'll make her feel like you're trying too hard. And nothing kills attraction faster than desperation. So let's dig deep. The hidden psychology of nicknames. Nicknames seem small, harmless, just words. But in reality, they are one of the most intimate psychological shortcuts you can use with a woman. Why? Because they tap into one of the deepest needs of the feminine heart, to be seen as unique and special in a man's world. Think about it. Women hear compliments all the time. You're beautiful, you're cute, you're hot. These are civil. They don't stick. Every guy says them. Every guy uses the same recycled lines. But a nickname, that's different. A nickname is personal. A nickname is exclusive. A nickname says, I see you in a way nobody else does. From a psychological perspective, nicknames work because they trigger childhood imprinting. As little girls, many women receive nicknames from their parents, from siblings, or from close childhood friends. These names were tied to moments of comfort, safety, and unconditional love. When you give her a nickname, one that resonates, you unconsciously connect her to those same emotions. Suddenly, you're not just a man she's talking to. You're the man who makes her feel safe, valued, and cherished. But here's where most men mess it up. They go too soft, too needy, too fast. They start calling every girl baby, honey, cutie, and women instantly see through. It feels fake, it feels manipulative, and it makes the man look like he's trying to create intimacy that he hasn't earned yet. The difference between an ordinary guy and a stoic, high-value man is that the stoic man knows the power of restraint. He doesn't hand out nicknames casually. He doesn't force them. He waits until the timing is right, until the connection has naturally begun. And then he drops a name so effortlessly that she doesn't even realize how deeply it affects her. Exclusivity. The secret ingredient, one of the strongest psychological forces in attraction, is scarcity. What is rare becomes valuable. When you use a nickname sparingly, when it's reserved only for her, it creates an exclusive bond. Suddenly, it's not just a nickname, it's a secret code, a private world between you and her. She might be talking to 10 guys. She might even be entertaining attention from others. But when you give her that one special nickname and use it with masculine calm, she will associate that word with you and only you. And over time, that small word grows into an anchor. Every time she hears it, she feels pulled back into your frame, your presence, your energy, emotional safety, and feminine response. Another reason nicknames work is because they create emotional safety. A woman constantly lives with societal pressure, with expectations, with comparisons. When you give her a name that feels warm, safe, and unique, it tells her subconscious, with him, I can let my guard down. With him, I can be soft. That's why you'll often notice that when you give a woman a nickname in the right way, her body language changes. She leans in, her voice softens, her eyes shine differently, because in that moment, she doesn't just feel like another woman. She feels like your woman. Stoic masculinity and nicknames. But here's the key. Stoicism. Nicknames lose their power when they're over-emotional. If you throw them out too often, with too much excitement, you lose the masculine frame. A stoic man doesn't beg with words. He doesn't try to force closeness. Instead, he allows silence, presence, and subtlety to do the heavy lifting. When a stoic man uses a nickname, it carries weight. It's rare, it's intentional, and that's exactly why it works. Remember this, it's not the nickname itself. It's the energy behind it. If you're needy, even the sweetest nickname will feel hollow. But if you're calm, strong, grounded, and selective, even the simplest word will feel like a gift she can't stop thinking about. Transition to part 2. Now that you understand the psychology behind nicknames, the childhood imprint, the exclusivity, the emotional safety, and the stoic frame, you're ready to discover the first powerful nickname. This is the nickname that begins to shift her perception of you, that makes her smile when she hears it, and that plants the seed of emotional bonding. And once you master this, you'll see how even the smallest word can make her feel like she belongs only to you. Part 2. The first powerful nickname, opening frame. Now that you understand the hidden psychology of nicknames, why they matter, why they work, and why they must be used with restraint. It's time to unlock the first powerful nickname. This nickname is simple. It's not dramatic, it doesn't scream for attention, but it quietly bypasses a woman's defenses and speaks directly to her feminine heart. This nickname is Little One. Why Little One works at first. You might think, why would calling a woman Little One deepen emotional connection? Isn't that unusual? Isn't that almost too simple? But here's the truth. Little One speaks directly to one of the deepest feminine desires, the desire to feel protected, safe, and cherished in a man's presence. Women are constantly pressured in today's world to be strong, independent, and fierce. They fight battles in their careers, their families, and even in their social lives. But underneath all of that strength, there exists a very primal need. The desire to surrender, at least in moments, to a man's strength. When you call her Little One, and you say it with a calm, stoic confidence, you are sending her subconscious a clear message. With me, you don't have to be strong all the time. With me, you can let go. With me, you are safe. The feminine response to safety. A woman's heart opens when she feels safe. This is the key that most men miss. They try to impress her with money, with muscles, with words, with endless validation, but what she truly craves is a place where she can let her guard down. Little One creates that place. It anchors her into a role where she doesn't need to perform, compete, or prove herself. Instead, she gets to be soft, feminine, and free. And here's the fascinating part. Women don't consciously know why this nickname works. They just feel it. They feel their heart soften. They feel their body relax. They feel a childlike comfort that connects them to moments of warmth, love, and protection they experienced in their younger years. This is where you stand out. Because while other men are busy calling her sexy or baby girl, you've given her something different, something real, something grounding, the stoic masculine energy behind it. But let me make something very clear. Little One will only work if it comes from a stoic masculine frame. If you say it with neediness, she will reject it. If you overuse it, she will cringe. If you throw it out randomly, she will think you're just playing games. The nickname only works when your energy is calm, centered, and confident. You don't call her Little One every hour of the day. You don't spam it in every text message. You drop it in key moments. When she's playfully resisting you, when she's overtaken, when she's being dramatic, or even when she's opening up emotionally. By saying Little One in those moments, you subtly remind her, you don't have to carry the weight here. I've got this. You are safe with me. Practical example. Scenario number 1. Imagine this. She's frustrated about something. Maybe work stressed her out. Maybe she's venting about her friend. Maybe she's spiraling into overthinking. Most guys would respond with logic, trying to fix the problem. But you stay calm. You listen. And then, with a subtle smile, you say softly, relax, Little One. I've got you. Notice what happens. Her shoulders drop. Her breathing slows. Her energy shifts. In that moment, you've just pulled her out of chaos and anchored her into peace. That is power. Practical example. Scenario number 2, she's playfully challenging you. Maybe she says, you're not even that strong, or I bet I can beat you. At this, most guys would argue back, defend themselves, or try to prove their worth. But a high-value, stoic man just laughs, shakes his head and says, sure thing, Little One. Do you see the difference? You didn't argue, you didn't prove yourself, you didn't lose your calm. Instead, you framed her as the playful, feminine energy into yourself as the grounded masculine. Suddenly, she feels the polarity, and she loves it. Why exclusivity matters here. The key is that this nickname cannot be shared. You don't call every woman Little One. You don't make it your default. You reserve it for the one woman you want to build that emotional anchor with. The reason it works is because it's rare. Because when she hears it, she knows it belongs to her. And that makes her feel unique in your world. Psychological breakdown. Why this hits deep. Little One taps into feminine desire for safety. Gives every woman wants to feel like she can let go in a man's presence. Childhood comfort imprint gives it connects to moments when she felt loved and protected. Polarity dynamics gives it puts her into feminine softness, while you remain in masculine groundedness. Exclusivity gives it becomes a private, intimate anchor between you and her. When you combine all of these, the nickname becomes more than a word. It becomes an experience. Closing part 2. Transition. This is the first powerful nickname. Gentle, subtle, and deeply grounding. But remember, it's not the word itself. It's the energy behind it. A weak man saying Little One comes across as cringe. A grounded stoic man saying Little One becomes unforgettable. And once you've mastered this, it's time for the second nickname. A nickname that doesn't just create safety, but sparks, fire, passion, and irresistible attraction. Because while safety opens her heart, passion keeps her chasing you. Part 3. The second powerful nickname opening frame. Safety opens her heart, but passion makes her addicted to you. If Little One speaks to her need for protection and softness, the second nickname speaks to her wild, playful, feminine fire. And that nickname is Trouble. Why trouble works. The moment you call her Trouble, something happens inside her. She feels a spark. She feels seen not as just another woman, but as a playful, mischievous, unpredictable force that you enjoy handling. Unlike little one, which relaxes her, trouble teases her. It frames her not as a burden, but as a challenge you enjoy. And here's the psychology. Women crave men who can handle their emotional storms. They crave men who won't collapse when they push, test, or play games. By calling her trouble, you're saying, I see your fire, and I love it. You don't scare me, you can't knock me off balance. This nickname flips the dynamic. She becomes the playful chaos. You remain the unshaken mountain, the stoic energy behind it, but just like before. The nickname only works if your energy is calm and centered. If you say trouble with frustration, it becomes an insult. If you say it with insecurity, it feels weak. But if you say it with a smirk, with grounded confidence, it becomes electric. You're essentially letting her know, I can handle you. You're not too much for me. In fact, I enjoy your energy. This is powerful because women secretly fear being too much, too emotional, too dramatic, too chaotic. But when you call her trouble, you're showing her that you don't just tolerate her fire, you're attracted to it. Practical example, scenario number 1. She texts you something dramatic like, you better not forget about me. Instead of reassuring, over-explaining, or panicking, you simply reply, you're such trouble. Short, playful, teasing, but loaded with meaning. She'll smile, maybe roll her eyes, but deep down she'll feel the polarity. You didn't fold under her push, you kept your calm, and you framed her as fun. Exciting chaos, not as a problem to fix. Practical example, scenario number 2, she tries to pick a playful argument. Maybe she says, I can't believe you don't like my favorite show. What's wrong with you? Most guys would defend themselves, explain their reasons, or backtrack to avoid tension. But a high-value man just smirks, shakes his head and says, man, you really are trouble. Boom. The energy shifts. Now she's laughing, maybe hitting you playfully, but secretly she feels more attraction. Why? Because instead of being pulled into her frame, you pulled her into yours. Why this nickname is magnetic trouble works because it creates playful tension. It tells her, you're not afraid of her emotions. You see her drama as fun, not as a burden. You're willing to flirt with her chaos, not fix it. And here's the hidden layer. By calling her trouble, you're telling her she's exciting. She's not boring. She's not predictable. She has an energy that stirs something inside you. Most women fear being forgettable. They fear being just another girl. But when you label her as trouble, you're saying, you stand out, you make my life more interesting. The balance of passion and control, the nickname trouble, is powerful because it balances two forces. Her feminine chaos, she gets to be wild, playful, unpredictable. Your masculine groundedness, you stay calm, teasing, unshaken. This creates polarity. The dance of fire and stone, and polarity is what makes women crave you. Practical example, scenario number 3, real-life playfulness. You're at dinner, she steals a fry from your plate without asking. Instead of being annoyed or ignoring it, you lean back, shake your head, and say with a smirk, here we go again. You're trouble, she laughs. Maybe she teases you back. But in that small moment, you've injected playfulness into the interaction, and that playfulness is what creates chemistry. Psychological breakdown, why women respond to this trouble, taps into 3 feminine desires. The desire to be a challenge. Women want to be playful obstacles, not easy wins. Trouble gives them that role. The desire to be handled. Women love when a man can take their energy without collapsing. Trouble proves you can handle her. The desire for polarity. Women crave the dance of push and pull, fire and calm. Trouble anchors that dance. Exclusivity reminder, just like little one. This nickname must be exclusive. If you call every girl trouble, it loses its magic. But if you use it only with her, in the right moments, it becomes an emotional anchor. Every time she hears it, she feels the polarity, she feels alive. She feels passion, and she connects that passion to you. Closing part 3 transition. So now, you have 2 nicknames. The first little one creates softness, safety, and feminine surrender. The second trouble creates passion, playfulness, and irresistible attraction. But there's still one more. The third nickname is different. It doesn't just make her feel safe. It doesn't just spark passion. It creates something even deeper, something that bonds her to you on an emotional, almost spiritual level. Because while safety and passion are powerful, the final nickname unlocks her sense of destiny. Part 4. The third powerful nickname, opening frame. There are nicknames that make her feel safe. There are nicknames that make her feel playful and alive. But then, there's a nickname that makes her feel like she belongs to something greater. And that nickname is, my queen. Why my queen is different when you call a woman my queen. You awaken something primal inside her. She doesn't just feel cute, like when you call her little one. She doesn't just feel playful, like when you call her trouble. She feels chosen, elevated, revered, important. Every woman secretly wants to feel like she's not just a part of your life, but the crown jewel of it. And here's the deep psychology. Women crave significance. They want to know they hold a place in your life that no one else can occupy. My queen tells her, you are not ordinary. You are not replaceable. You are mine, and I honor you. The stoic energy behind it, but again, it's not the words. It's the energy. If you say my queen while being needy, insecure, or begging for approval, it collapses. She feels it as flattery, not as truth. But if you say it calmly, with grounded confidence, with the energy of a man who doesn't need her but chooses her, it becomes powerful. The Stoic man says my queen not because he worships her, but because he recognizes her place in his kingdom. He is the king, she is the queen. Both roles are strong, but distinct. This balance makes her feel elevated without making you seem weak. Practical example. Scenario number 1. She's dressed up for a dinner date. She comes out, and you pause, take her in, and simply say with calm authority, "Look at you, my queen." That single line will melt her, not because of the compliment, but because of the frame. You framed her as royalty, not cute girl, not hot chick, but your queen. Practical example. Scenario number 2. She achieves something in her work. Maybe a promotion or a small win. While others just say congrats, you lean in and say, "That's my queen." Now, you've anchored her success not just to her achievement, but to her role in your life. She feels proud of herself, and proud to be yours. Why this nickname is magnetic? My queen works because it taps into 3 deep feminine needs. The need for significance. She wants to know she matters. This nickname makes her feel like she holds a unique, irreplaceable place in your world. The desire for respect. It's not just love, she wants its respect. My queen gives her both. The fantasy of royalty. Every woman, deep down, wants to be treated like she's extraordinary. You give her that without being cheesy. The psychological shift it creates. Here's the deeper layer. By calling her my queen, you're not just describing her, you're shaping her identity. When a man consistently gives a woman a role, she unconsciously begins to step into it. If you call her trouble, she'll become more playful and mischievous. If you call her little one, she softens into her feminine. If you call her my queen, she'll begin to carry herself with more pride, grace, and devotion because you framed her that way. This is powerful influence. Not manipulation, but leadership.